Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to episode 3 of Myst 3 Exile. We rejoin in Voltaic. We've wandered around and we've opened up the first of our valves, let's say, our switches. I don't know. If we go over to the environment here, the panel, let's call it, right? We've turned one thing on. We're now on a little bit of a hunt, right? Let me know if that sound is a little bit too loud in game. Right, we've got one item on in our panel. Spiper in the chat says, a lot of Exile's music composes itself on the fly, so you're curious which parts are actually triggering it. So in the last episode, our initial entry into Voltaic triggered it. Okay, so I would say to open the spring, we need these three turned on, and we've done this one. Now, we want to make sure we're not missing anything obvious, right? But I'm going to assume what we need to do down this path here, just move my mic a little bit, what we need to do along this path here has been done. Although, actually, right. To be fair, that was the thing that... so I did have one comment on the YouTube channel saying, oh, I wonder if you'll spot what you missed had changed. But do you know what? I was re-watching the recording from last time, particularly the end, because there's a door just like that where we first warp in, right next to the Janin linking book. And the crystal in that is like blue, and that crystal was green. So okay, we open doors that we can get through. Oh, that's a little bit quieter. That's a little bit more pleasant. It plays a pre-composed melody when you first visit the age, but the ambience is all assembled on the fly. The files probably aren't that hard to edit. Ah, fair. Well, what I will do is I'm going to fix it in post. So the reason I say that this episode up on YouTube might be delayed a week is what I'll do is I'll edit it as usual. I'll upload it to YouTube. If it gets content flagged, I'll go back to the original. I'll find the time codes which are flagging the content ID, and I will just I'll just snip them, right? And with apologies to Jack Wall for his excellent score, but yeah. Not that it makes a big difference to me personally at the moment, because my YouTube channel is not monetized, right? So if you do see ads on the YouTube, it is because the content ID has not erroneously, sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's because the content ID system has flagged the video for copyright. So someone else has added ads to the video. That's as of 31st of December 2023, right? I mean, I'm currently sitting at 190 subscribers, which is excellent, right? And yeah, and so obviously, like, once I hit 1,000 subscribers, then the channel can be monetized and so forth. But oh,
what's the matter, Atrus? Can't remember how things work? Yet you explained this class so well when we first spoke of it in Orion. I want Cirrus and Akanar to learn everything they can, Savidro. First from Amateria, Idana, Voltaic, and finally from Narayan. Okay. When my boys come to see your people, I want them to see Narayan's traditions at work, so they can see how civilization can balance an age. Do you know what they did when they finally came to us? You never came back. After class was over, you took your boys away, and you never came back. Cirrus and Achenar did.
Interesting. So one thing I forgot to update you guys on right at the start of the video, I have been reading the Book of Atrus. Really loving it, right? Full disclosure, it's not like the best written book I've ever read, okay, you know, like, but, like, the lore and the way that it fits into the story, it's chef's kiss good. What Savidro was saying there about civilization balancing an age, I've not quite got that far yet in the book, but that is alluded to by the... I'm about halfway through the book. That is alluded to in the book. The idea that civilization comes out as a result of plenty, that if you create an age with enough natural resources that people can have an easy life, they will develop culture as a result with their free capacity. And I believe what that's going to eventually allude to is civilization having a sort of symbiotic relationship with the ages themselves. But as I say, I haven't got very far yet with...
What's the matter, Atrus? Can't remember how things work?
Okay, that's just going to replay that.
This...
Interesting. Well, let's go and see what's down this corridor. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying the Book of Atrus at the moment. I'm not much of a reader, so the fact that it's kind of keeping me in is, you know, probably enough of a recommendation itself, in honesty. Okay, right, we came down a ladder. So we have a large... Ooh! 5. Uh-huh. I see. Well, I say I see. I'm not sure I actually do see, but... have a look around here. 4. Well, let's start at number 1, shall we? Now, that's really interesting. I think this is the first and only time we've seen a puzzle. I think this is the only time we've ever seen a puzzle which required knowledge from a previous game, if the numbers are part of the puzzle and not just flavour. Okay, so this is number 1. I tell you what, I'm going to knock that down slightly, because that is very loud as that rotates. In my ear, at least, anyway. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. My mouse lost focus on the game for a second. Okay, first question that's in my mind is going to be... does changing this... Ooh, Justy gifted Spiper a subscription. Thank you very much for the gifted sub, Justy. Okay, the question that's in my mind is that what's in 1 gonna change if we move it in 2? Yeah. So let's move the top round 1 and go back. Yeah, it's changed. It's changed. Okay. So So are we trying to solve all 5 sides at the same time? Or do we solve them sequentially? Okay, let's try and have a look as to how many orientations each one of these has. Yeah? Initially I was thinking, is this going to be a pattern matching thing? Like we try and draw the Denis number for 1 in the 1 slot, and we try and draw number 2 in the 2 slot. I don't think that's going to work because 3 has like that bow on the side of it, and I don't see anything that looks like that in the middle rack here. So let's try and get a sense of how many rotations it sort of has. Okay, so let's count them off here. So that's 1. No, let's count it this way. That'll be easier. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Hang on. Is it already repeating? It's really hard to tell, actually. I might need to take some screenshots. But okay. Okay, so this is 3 wide. Okay, so it's 3 wide with 4 at the top, 3 in the middle, so the second one missing, and 3 at the bottom with the 4th one missing. Fine. So let's go round again and see if that's the same. No, this has now got the first one missing on the bottom. Okay, this one has got one like in the middle of the first one. So there's 3 so far. That's got 4 and 4, so that's 4 now. New follow. All brother is now following. Great to see you. I have a feeling that what's making the flashing is something outside reflecting the sunlight into the room. This is what I have a feeling. But thank you very much for the follow, all brother. Great to have you here. Okay, that's our 5th one. And now we're back to the start. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the presumption that we have 5 of these in each of the tumblers, and that there is a combination which lines them all up or locks them all up for each of the 5. Spiper drops a hint. Any thoughts on what it's for? The water wheel was easy enough to identify. I mean, it's something electrical. But what is it for? Who could say? Who could say? What it's for is to... I'm not sure. It's got a lot of wires coming out of it, and it looks like it's going to be on something that comes up or down. So maybe it's going to raise a bridge for us near the start. We have kind of walked from where we are at the start. We walked around to the left and then went into a cave and then went in and back and down. So we may well be pretty close to where we first linked in to the age. Okay. Well, let's try lining up the contacts, yeah? And see where we get. So we've got a contact in the middle and we've got a contact on the end, yeah? And so we know that we've seen one of those. That exists. Like, I'm sure the puzzle's not going to be that straightforward, but we'll go with it, right? So that one exists as a thing. And if we look, that's going to have a fourth contact. Oh, wait. Is there a third contact here, just out of view? Well, these are off-center, aren't they? So if I look in the fifth one, will I see that contact, potentially? Let's go and have a little look. No, but I tell you what, that lines up really well. Yeah, as does that. So I think that's the correct spot for the first tumbler. Yeah, all of these are now lining up, which is very nice. So let's line up the bottom one now then, because the bottom one also needs to make a bunch of contact with something that it can't... Which it can't move with. So it could be that one. But no, it's not that one. Well, hang on a minute. That's not... Oh, no. Can't be this one because... Wait, no. The rotation's the other way. So it could be this one. Let's have a look. That's lined up. The one that was in the middle of the thing, I sent this direction. And yeah, see, the middle pieces are lining up. So, is this all lined up now? Is the middle tumbler already... No, the middle tumbler's not quite in the right spot. Let's get the middle tumbler lined up. Ooh, the middle tumbler's got some weird shapes in it, doesn't it? Hey. And that solved it for all sides. Okay, great. Is there anything to do? Watch your fingers, yeah. I spent enough time around high voltage to be like, yeah, that's gonna hurt. Oh dear. Yeah, genuinely. So when I worked in the lab, high voltage is the most dangerous thing that you can fiddle around with, right? In my opinion, right? It really is. Because fundamentally, a live piece of metal and a grounded piece of metal look, smell, they are identical to each other, you know? And it's like, yeah, it's the only thing where I've really felt like, ooh, you know, maybe I had a bit of a close call with that one. But no, I thoroughly enjoy the fact that I have now an incredibly mundane, I shouldn't say mundane, but run-of-the-mill, let's say, a standard office job, you know.
What's the matter?
Okay, so this doesn't change as a result of us solving that, but let's go back up here and see what is different. The music has changed. Well, we shall therefore, flag this spot to. Oh no! Don't move me without agreement, please. Yeah, because it really does not take. Oh, all of these are now lit. And actually, do you know what? Do you reckon these are the doors that are open? Let's have a little look. Yeah, it really does not take very many seconds of music for the Content ID system to flag it, to be honest. No, that's still locked. So let's check out some of those other doors to see if they now have power. See what's changed. Was that rotating around before? So, no power still on that door. There's got to be something to do here, right? Like, this has got to swing round to me at some point. But it feels like it should swing... It feels like where we physically were just now is pretty close to that, right? You think it switched right to the ambience for this track. The theme version has more of a beat. Fair. I found a really great YouTube channel this morning called Classical Music But, right? And there's not much to it. It's just classical music, and it's using recordings which are like fair use kind of recordings because they're, well, I mean, classical music, the copyright of classical music is always a little bit of a funny one because it's sort of like, it's way outside of copyright, but the recordings are usually owned by the people that recorded them. Excellent, we can now go down this elevator. Yeah, and it's basically just classical music arrangements or playlists which have a particular theme to them. And so, you know, so it's kind of like classical music, but you're a member of the Star Wars Rebellion or something like that, and it's the author has chosen some pieces of classical music that they sort of feel fit the vibe of John Williams' score, but aren't actually John Williams' Star Wars music, if that makes sense. Well, that looks like something, doesn't it? Oh, we have a giant, not a giant, but certainly a conspicuous handle. Well, that feels like progress. Oh, yeah, okay. Spoke too soon there. Okay. So is there like a... I'm you know, try it twice, right? I'm assuming there's some kind of locking mechanism that we're missing there. Okay. I feel like it's got to do something to do with these wires, right? But okay, let's go back round where that dome is and see if we also have something new to do in there. Because, I mean, so that's where we were standing just now. So we're going to come and have a little look. We've got a hook here. So we stand on this platform. Again, we've got one of these really conspicuous things, and they look like handles, don't they? So we need to get this out of here. Is it like an airship hangar or something? Okay, maybe we're fiddling with these dials now. We've got a switch. Oh, that made some noise. I can't remember if we left that in an on state or an off. Oh, did that just swing back? Oh, in that case, it doesn't matter how we left it, right? Okay, so that's probably the button to check if you have the right solution, I would assume. That bridge is out, so we can't go there. Doesn't really seem to do very much, but okay. So it's like an open or a closed. There are two options there. Do you notice how the sound effect is actually different on the two directions, right? This one goes when it goes to the right, but it goes when it goes to the left. But that's the opposite way around on this one. And it's going to go the other way. Oh, and that one just doesn't move. Well, let's it all of them. And that's still not going to move. And let's see if that does anything. This dial looks really weird. It almost looks like it's painted on. It doesn't even look like a real dial in a way. Okay, let's try and move them all the other direction. Yeah, that sounds the same to me. That's also using the same sound effect, isn't it? It's interesting, isn't it? Okay. I feel like... Oh, yeah, no, that just walked me. The positioning of where these wires are is just so sus for me. But, like, where's my clue for this? The dial just doesn't move at all. And as far as the pipes go, well, the pipes just go in straight through. Let's go back to the panel, because maybe I'm missing something about the symbols that that's using. There's also totally the point that I might literally just miss like a side path around here or something as well. But let's go back to the panel first. So, okay. We turned the electrics on, and that gave us both of these to be on. So we've got the turbine. So this is the turbine, and this is the power room, right? The 5 things. That means that's illuminated, and that's illuminated. Before, I think it was only this one that was on. I'm assuming it's not a case of trying to disengage anything. You know, now that we've turned it on, I'm assuming we don't have to do anything with this to turn this off now. Like, that wouldn't make any sense, because this is the turbine that's actually generating power. The fact that this rotates you on its own seems really sus to me. Like, it's supposed to do something having you stand on here. I don't know. And okay. We can go in there, but there's not really anything in there. So let's try and find them what these other 2 symbols are going to be referring to. So from up here... Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to... Well, well, that has turned off the power now, but usually you can't undo a puzzle after you've solved it. But that has turned everything off. Like, including the doors. So you can't open the doors anymore. You can't go back down there anymore. But usually you can't undo a puzzle after you've done it. Which leads me to believe that you do need to turn the power off to do something. Like maybe get something in the correct position, or some path being only accessible when the water's not available. Right, that door's off. We have Breadstick Ninja in the chat. Your complete lack of sleep schedule during the holiday break means that you can catch the stream live. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you live. We are on Voltaic. And, oof, I tell you what, Voltaic is challenging us for sure. I was also coming up to the conclusion as well, having now done about half the Book of Atrus, that once we are finished with these games, I think it'd be really nice to go back. Yeah, no power, so that's off. Can I do anything with the steam whilst there's no power on? Because it does seem really odd and unusual to me that I could just reset the puzzle by turning the water off. You know what I mean? I think once we've done these Myst games, I think it would be really interesting to go back and... That's the same as it was before. And do the original Myst again. Because we've never done the Rime Age in Myst, because I played the 2021 remake. So I think it'd be good to do Rime, but I think it would also be really nice to go back and read the journals in Atrus Library from the OG Myst, now that you've got like a much better now that I've got a much better understanding of like what these ages are and mean, you know. Why is that one stuck? Nah. I don't think it's going to be a timing puzzle, right? This game never has timing puzzles. It doesn't appear that there's very much extra I can do with the power turned off. You know, which seems like a bit of an obvious thing to say. But why are you able to close the sluice if that doesn't give you any puzzle progress? Exile is above timing puzzles. Yeah, we don't do... This is not that kind of game. We don't do that here. Okay, right. I'm thinking. Right. We're entering our archive of Rand's tricks, okay? Door behind another door. Okay. Are there any doors that we can close that might reveal another door? Is there an elevator which maybe can go up as well as down? Right. That's another classic. Yeah, okay. So we go up here. Is there anything further up here? Oh, so we can see where we started off. What is this thing? Oh dear. Well, at least you don't have to like kickstart everything again and so forth, you know. But that just makes me feel like it's even more suspicious that you can turn the power off. But maybe that's just not a thing yet. Like, I think we should definitely remember that you can do that. Yeah, so the whole door is an interactable object, so there's nothing there. Shoot, we might have to have a bit of a think about this one. Alright. I'm thinking, second half of the episode, maybe we head back to Janin and try and get into one of the other ages. It would seem to be a shame to leave an age incomplete and come back to it, though. My natural inclination is to persevere with it. Doesn't look like the hand is not giving us the, not really giving us the thing. So it's the outer ring is rotating. It sounds steam-powered, actually, doesn't it? I wonder if this changes depending on the state of the valves. So the outer ring rotates. I wonder if it's not opening because that fourth valve is stuck. So, is it a question of getting these valves into the right place and then getting it open? It feels like I want to ride that out of here, doesn't it? Somehow. I don't know. It feels like that would be the cool thing to do. There's something up there, isn't there? Try and do the long press. No. The long hold. The dial just ever immoving. The dial just totally motionless. Man, it's really early in the game to be asking for a hint, isn't it? Like, we got pretty far through Myst and Riven before we needed to look anything up. But this is pretty Stucksville. Yeah, that animation looks thoroughly identical to me. Oh, blimey. Oh, I'm not even stuck on a puzzle. I'm not sure that makes me feel better, Breadstick Ninja. No, I understand what you mean, though. I'm not stuck on a puzzle. I'm stuck on seeing something or finding the next path to go. Sure. What do we see? Well... What do we see? Okay. We've got... Okay, let me try and articulate it. The opening of the dome does not appear to be electrically powered. Okay, the opening of the dome appears to be mechanical. It's a series of wires which sort of zigzag around the various plates that as they're pulled, they open. So you can sort of see it from here, that the wires sort of zigzag up here, 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 here. So pulling this lever is putting those cables under tension and pulling them open. And you can see all of the cables seem to be coming from this sort of spine back here. This, I'm pretty sure, is actually electrical, though. And the lift is clearly electrical rather than mechanical. But this cabling that comes in... Well, the cabling doesn't really come in, does it? So maybe it's not steam powered. Maybe it's literally just a pulley system which comes from here. Which means that the problem might be through that tunnel. can we clamber over this thing? It sort of doesn't look like it. It wouldn't be a terribly safe way to go anyway. So can we meet up with it in the tunnel? Like, I would presume it's behind the door. Unless there's a... Ooh! Lens flare. Well, no, not lens flare. Just incredibly bright. Is there like a side path down here that I've just fully missed? So, I mean, we've tried that door half a dozen times. And this is sort of getting us back to a bit of a different area. It does look like this is a false floor, or something has happened to this floor, which makes it look quite a bit different from the rest of the floor. What do you see would make for a good channel point option? I like that idea. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, the long press doesn't really give you anything there either. I don't think it's coming literally out of the other side, is it? No. No, it is not. I mean, this looks like the smokestack of a ship almost, doesn't it? And what's this bit around the back here? Is there something around the back of that? It doesn't seem... Is that just the ambient music? Or is that something actually knocking? No, I think it was just ambience. Okay. I'm really not sure. It's something... So it's like a hidden path or something that I've missed. I mean, my best guess would be that it's got to get me over there. Like, it's got to get me up there somehow. Like, so that I can get into that tunnel. Like that... If that's a lift, that could get me up there. Because it does sort of look like an entry point, and it's a big old cylinder going upwards. Hang on a minute, wait a minute. No, that's just a light. For a moment I thought, is that a lift that's stuck above me? And pulling that doesn't do anything because the lift can't come down on you. Okay, interestingly enough, there's a standing spot here and there's a standing spot here. Which seems weird and unnecessary. Unless you were... But you can't touch that whilst you're standing here. But it does seem a little bit strange that there's a spot to stand right here. Okay, my best guess at the moment is that this circle does actually go upwards, right? Like, we've got a big oval here, which appears to be being repeated up here and up here. So it kind of feels like we should be able to stand on this and move it up. But it's not going. And it's not anything as obvious as, oh, there's a ladder there. Oh, unless that's a ladder. Oh my god, that's a ladder? What? Why? Oh. That doesn't look anything like a ladder. What is that? Oh my god. This game sometimes, man. Like, what is that? Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. We got some pages to read. Let's have a read. The cavern wall is almost ready. For weeks I have been polishing it, rubbing away at the cracks to obtain a smooth surface. I haven't been able to sleep much these last weeks. I was afraid I might never wake up. But if I can make him see all that happened, if I can show him the pain his family caused, it would be worth it. Tomorrow I begin mixing the paints. Right, well, let's take a little screenshot of this page here, because those are almost certainly going to be very useful for me. And we're going to take a screenshot of this page here. Okay. Second page we found in Voltaic. Yes, at least, for sure. Okay, we've got a path there. This looks like this should still be able to go up and down, right? I don't know. We'll go for it. We have a path. We have progress that we can make. Yeah, we're on it. We're on the pipe. Let's go. Shortcut unlocked, probably. Oh, we're crawling through a vent. Just checking that there isn't, you know, a different tunnel just behind that door that we've just opened, you know. Okay, so we can go down one. No, nothing to do sort of back there, but okay. Aha! Great! We are literally inside the room. Shortcut unlocked. Okay. The free look is partly to blame for the ladder. Partly, yeah. I will take some responsibility for that. Oh, right. We've got like a proper sort of joystick situation going on there. Well, let's go down the ladder and have a look as to what we have. That looks like a tiny train symbol to me. Maybe. Do you know what? Whilst I was in Germany, I found an amazing sound. What's the word? Like a bit of sound B-roll, which we're totally going to make a redeemable channel point sound. It's like the cutest thing. Basically, it's a tiny mechanical train that my mother-in-law bought for my daughter, and it sings in German, "I'm a tiny train, come on an adventure with me." And I'm like, oh my god, that's like brilliant. So yes, I'm gonna snip that up and I'm gonna make that a redeemable channel sound for sure. It's like the cutest thing I've ever heard. What are we doing in here? So there's nothing really to look at out that window. Okay, so you can go down. Oh, no, it... Oh. Okay, that wound it round. That is a touchy control. Maybe moving into mouse move only will help. How do we even move that round? That is very fiddly. That is very fiddly. Did moving that do anything for us down here? Okay, well, that now looks different. Okay. Well, that's fine. Oh, man, we've got another one. Right. So, what is it that moved? Like, it's this thing that moved. Right, the whole platform came down. Possibly. So... Oh, no, that one just kind of went across instead. Kind of feels like this could have been a button, to be honest. Well, so now if I move it back, that's gonna then be connected back up. The other one had a bolt stuck in the center line. Harkonnen sabotage. Do you know what? So I bought. Let me show you. Let me show you guys. I got the other thing I got given for Christmas, as well as Star Trek: A Final Unity. I got given the rest of the Dune series, and man, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Right, I got a real soft spot for book series that all have like consistent artistic direction, right? Like, you wouldn't say these covers match each other, but like, you know, in the same way that Adobe logos or Atlassian logos for their products are all within the same theme as each other but distinct from each other. I really love book series that have a consistent art style to them, but not necessarily matching covers, let's say. Yeah. That's a weirdly specific niche, probably. But yeah, I'm looking forward to I've made a little start on Dune Messiah, but not significantly. I've paused Dune Messiah whilst working through the Book of Atrus, because the Book of Atrus is actually an incredibly short book. It's like the 30th anniversary edition. Yes, it's 300 pages long, but the paper is very thick, and the font is quite large. So did that do the thing? Right, I moved the thing down, I moved the other thing across, and I've now moved the thing back, so I believe that's now connected, right? If I go back to the panel looks identical to me. But let's go back, because the whole point was to go and look at the mechanics of opening the dome. So let's go back and see if the dome now opens, because, you know, the proof of the pudding is somewhat in the eating of it, right? But yeah, thoroughly loved Dune, though. It's kind of the first... I spent so long studying in my adult life. You know, I spent about the best part of 10 years after I graduated from university studying for various professional qualifications and so forth. And I really lost the enthusiasm for reading. Like, I would have to read a huge amount of non-fiction stuff. Okay, that didn't solve that problem. Fine, okay. Did I mess it up? Were we not supposed to return that other bit to where it was before? Okay. I spent so long reading non-fiction stuff that I really fell out of interest with reading, in honesty. And Dune is like the first book in probably about 10 years, the first fiction book, that I've actually sat down and read. The Book of Atrus being the second. And so do not take any book recommendations from me, because I am not very big on reading at all. In fact, if I do manage to stick with a book, that's probably enough of a recommendation in and of itself. So let's fiddle with this and move it back somehow. How did we even do that before? This is like the fiddliest thing we've ever had to work with. It's not a code, is it? No, it's just the fiddliest thing in the world. Okay. So that is still where it was before. Yeah, this doesn't seem quite correct, does it? Like, what am I actually trying to do here? That feels more like it, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that feels a little bit more like progress. Well. No, do you know what? I know what we have to do. We now have to move that across, and now we're going to get that. Wait. It's something like this, yeah? Okay. Hey, we did it. Okay. Well, now we have something on. So that's fine. So now let's... Nope. Wrong way. So let's return that back. So, bring us down. Nope, that was the wrong one. Oh, well, to be fair, we can go round. No, that's not the right side. We want to go round the outside, and then... What are you doing, game? That's what I was trying to do. No, that's taken us up. I think I'm getting the hang of it. I think I'm getting the hang of it. So now let's move across. And now let's move around the outside again. Great. Now we can get out. But the thing we've turned on is still on. So I think we can now go and try and open up that hangar. We'll see. Let's go back to the panel, given that we're here, and see what the panel has to say. You know. Well, the panel has nothing extra to add. That's fine. But we're going to try now and open up. We're going to see if that has opened this up for us. It's done something. It's not necessarily done this, right? Because the only connection between this mechanism and that is the fact that we've used the spine to walk there. No, okay. I was kind of hoping. That would be the one. Okay, so we've turned something on in that room. Do we need to put the lava back in there? The lava might be doing something, to be fair. Maybe we need to reset that room to how it was before. Like, we've turned the thing on. Let's try resetting that room to how it was before. The other thing is, you know, it might not be that the dome is open now. It might be that the valves are doable. But let's go and return that to where it was. Because maybe, you know... See, it's such a weird thing to say, but maybe the lava is an integral part of the machine. I never thought I'd say that out loud, but okay. Maybe it's turned this door on. No, it has not. I'm pretty sure that door's going to be the final door. Right, that door is the door that we're working towards actually opening, because it's right next to the Janine linking book, right? So you kind of want to get the player to sort of feel that emotion of, ah, yes, we've done it, we finally unlocked the final door, and now we can head back to Janine. Right, we put the lava back in. What's that? We've put the lava back in. Let's try the... we'll try the lever again. If it's not the lever, I'm hoping it's going to be the valves. Nah, it doesn't look like it, does it? No. Fine. Well, fingers crossed for the valves then. The valves might make more sense, to be fair, because whereas those opening of the shutters there is mechanical, what we've turned on kind of feels like maybe it's more connected to these. We'll see. Oh, shoot. Maybe we didn't solve that room yet. Did we leave the room too quickly? Maybe we just didn't solve it. Because there's no change over here at all. Yeah. Okay, let's head back. Like, that's my best thinking, to be honest. No, it's up and round, first of all. But it felt like that was it, that we'd turned the machine on, because it started humming at us. What do I think the big room is for? Well, I assumed it was going to be something to do with... Yeah, I don't actually know. So we can move that then across. This is actually... Wait, so this is also moving that big one there. Right, so that turns off whatever it is that we have turned on. It's some kind of pump, right? Just from the sound, it's some kind of pump. If we move all of this down... Wait, why didn't the lava move down there then? That's weird. What does the big wheel do? The big wheel is not the lava control. There's also a giant mural on the wall, which I totally did not look at. So we've got some people sort of flying around up here. And, well, there's a lot of fire, and there's a lot of people kind of being a bit violent to each other there. So, yeah. So what does the big wheel do? We've got this line coming out of here as well. So the big wheel is not really anything to do with the lava. Now we can, by going in and out of there, decide effectively whether we want this thing to move the big wheel up or down. It is moving this bit over here. You can't move it any higher than that. Oh, I see what you mean now about a bolt. Harkonnen sabotage. That's a bolt. That's not, Oh, yeah, no, I see. So yeah, so aside from turning it on, we can, aside from turning it on and off, we can decide whether there is lava in there or not. And that effectively is determined by... And we can determine whether the big wheel goes round or not. Right, which has something to do with that bit that's moving on the outside. You can just see it over there. Because I'm pretty sure if we move this bit around here, we don't move the big wheel. But can we, by moving the movable cog backwards and forwards, I don't think you can move the big wheel like up and up and up and up, right? Like, let's say we move that, and now we move ourselves down. Right, by moving the cog over to the other side. And let's move ourselves down. That would be up. No, you can't move us further down that way. Right. So you have to move the small cog back across. To be able to move us down. Because you can't move up anymore. Can you move the... You can move this back across. And if we then move up, we can do that. And when we move up, not using the big cog, the lava does not come back. That's confusing, isn't it? So we now go further up and we have lava back again. And now lava not going away now that we're down. The lava only enters when the big wheel turns. I believe that is true. But it only exits when we go to the ground. So, I mean, if we go out of here, like, I was sort of running on the assumption that we'd need to put the lava back, but we don't have to, I suppose. We could, if we need to raise that. Okay, and I mean, that now doesn't really do anything. Oh, but wait. Oh, no, but we can now leave this without going onto that platform. Ah, but there's nowhere for us to go now. Nah, something's weird with this. Something's weird with this. It's like I'm standing on the lava, but it's cool. Because that's not really significantly higher than where we are literally standing right now. But it sort of looks like we just have floor here, right? But it really doesn't look like we've got many places to go there. It's very dark in here. I'm quite struggling to see if there is anything there. Like, I don't see why we can't walk this way. You know what I mean? Okay. Well, my friends, I'm afraid that's going to have to stay as a mystery until next week for us, because we are out of time for today's stream. So if you are watching on YouTube in the future, thank you very much for watching episode 3 of Myst 3. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys real soon. For those of us on Twitch, let's have a look at who is live and